Okay, so we're going to start in 1 minute. All right, so we're going to start the class right now. Kumusta kayo? Good morning, class. Am I audible from your side? Naririnig ba? Okay, thank you very much for responding. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're not able to meet last week, but due to the inclement weather. But I was able to provide you the lecture for the past week, which is related to training and development. Now, if we're going to go back with our lessons, ito ay connected na after you conducted your training needs analysis or your, let's start with the job analysis. This is where going, everything was going to root up, okay? So from job analysis, makakapagawa ka ng job description. From job descriptions, you will be able to create your job specifications. From the job analysis results, you will be able to also create your training needs assessment. And then from training, you will also be able to identify the skill sets or skills matrix of all employees, on which this is our topic, no, yung performance management. Ito is one of the pillars of human resource practice. And this is very important for everyone to learn kasi this is the measure para malaman kung ang isang individual is performing or not. We will let the person or persons stay, or we will keep them, or that's a time for us to offload this individual. So once again, today's focus is all about performance management. And this is one of the most critical pillars of HR practice. So performance management is not just about annual evaluation kasi iniisip ng misconception pag sinabing performance management, isang beses lang yan siya at the end of the year, no? But it's not. Performance management, it's a continuous and strategic process. It means that it aligns with the employee's performance with organizational objectives. So, importante sa atin that we do it right. Okay? And it becomes a tool for the growth of the individual and also with the company. It will also make our employees engaged and, of course, accountable. Here in the Philippines, maraming company ang nagtatransition na from the old process or yung traditional na paper-based na appraisal system. Kasi way back before, para ma-evaluate ang isang individual or isang employee, merong isang napakahabang questionnaire, or it's a form that's getting filled by the manager, no, and then getting submitted sa HR. But now we have already changed it. So we are now more data driven because we all do have the technology. So napakaganda na meron tayong technology. It can already be automated or digitized. And of course, as the landscape changes and the technology advance as well, meron tayong mga developmental approaches that are getting acquired, especially with you guys, no, the future generation and the future practitioners. So our goal for today is to understand both the conceptual, the foundations, and the practical applications that will suit, no, your organization, especially pagka kayo na ang nandoon sa practice ng human resource management. Now, we do have three pillars when it comes to the objectives. Okay, let's first tackle that we would like to understand. After we finish the discussion, you will be able to understand performance management. So, see, performance management, as what I've mentioned, it's not a one-time process. It's a continuous system. No? So, it's really important for us to understand na hindi lang dahil annual ang ating performance review, it will end up like that. So ito ay continuous system. Monthly, we do have check-ins. Quarterly, we do have evaluations. Not the actual evaluations of all employees, but we need to identify and assess all our employees where they going, okay? Where they are going. Second is we would like to explore various methodologies used in assessment, no? In assessment and managing performance na what we can say is both doon sa ating global context and also in the Philippine setting. Okay? Third is we would like to analyze ano yung mga practical applications that we can initiate. No, we're going to have an exercise, and also we're going to have some discussions that we're going to tackle in all throughout the session. So once again, this session will guide us with the theories, of course, yung Philippine workplace realities, which we can say, at saka technical tools na ating itatakal in all throughout the session. So, let us start. Let's start first with the key concept and definition. So, performance management, it is a continuous process for defining, assessing, and improving employee performance to align with the organizational goals. Now, ito yung tatlong bagay na dapat nating emphasize from the definition itself. Let's start first with continuous process, okay? Continuous process means that it will include, from the strategic side, the planning, monitoring, developing, rating, rewarding, rewarding the performance of the employees all throughout the year. So hindi ibig sabihin kung ang inyong performance management ay annual, ay doon ka lang magkakaroon ng rewarding or rating. So it happens all throughout the year because we also do have new employees to get evaluated. We do have individuals that we see the potential to get promoted. So ito ay part ng continuous process under the performance management. Now, another thing that we need to emphasize from the definition is defining and assessing. So ito, it's giving us a clear expectation and a fair measurement para maintindihan natin kung ano ang performance ng bawat isang empleyado sa company. Okay? And lastly, from the word, for the definition again, the words align with organizational goals. So, what does it mean is employee performance must contribute to the company's strategic direction. So, kung ano ang gusto or target ng organization, that's what we're going to add as a measurement of the performance of employees para masabi natin that we are performing well. Okay? So, in the Philippines, marami tayong mga small and medium enterprises or SMEs. So dito kasi yung performance management, it equates to annual appraisals only. Ito nga yung na-mention ko kanina na isang beses lang. But for larger organizations, which is a best practice, like sabihin natin si Ayala Corporation, San Miguel, or there are a lot of BPOs, no? Sa Cavite, marami-rami tayong BPOs dyan. They use a strategic performance system kung saan it's not just all about the annual appraisals. We do have coaching, we do have feedback, and of course, yung data analytics. Ito'y naka-integrate na doon sa employee life cycle. Ibig sabihin that if you're new, we do have first month, third month, 6 months evaluation. Kung ikaw ay tenured na, we do have here criteria to see if you can move up doon sa promotion. So ito'y parte na ng employee life cycle. Now, in the global context, no, we do have ISO 9001 series of 2025. So ito'y updated na kasi way back then it's 2015 pa, 10 years ago. Meron na tayong balance scorecard which is conceptualized by Kaplan and Norton, no? Plus yung ating mga yung before na ginagamit namin na system, it's manual, but we do have now HR information systems. So this is an enabled system na kung saan yung performance management can be automated or digitized. Like SAP, Success Factors, meron tayong Oracle Human Capital Management na systems. So sa Pilipinas, si DOLE at saka si Civil Service Commission inintegrate na rin to have guidelines to emphasize kung kailan magkakaroon ng evaluations. There are periodic evaluations na nakatay doon sa development at saka sa planning, especially doon sa government, no, sa government and public institutions. Nakatied up na yan siya para malaman tuwing kailan pwedeng magkaroon ng increase sa salary, para makatulong din sa budgeting or costing, kung kailan pwedeng magkaroon ng promotion, paano yung step up, ano yung criteria. So, lahat yan ay parte ng performance management system. Now, there are several methods of performance management. Ito, bawat isa, they do have their strengths, but we need to also understand that they do have limitations and technical considerations. So we're going to discuss only 3 common methodologies that is used now both in the global and local context. So it means that if you're going to work outside of the country, you will still be able to use this because it's globally known and also globally applied. Now let us start first with the most basic, which is the rating scales. So the same thing when you're going to conduct your research, diba? Quantitative, ito ay quantitative tool. From the word itself, rating scales, diba? It do have numerical or descriptive scale. Pwedeng 1 to 5, 1 to 10. No, it really depends on paano mo siya or ano yung gusto mong i-measure or paano mo siya gustong i-measure. Now, we can set up specific behavior o kaya results na gusto nating itag doon sa descriptive scale natin or numerical scale. Ang kagandahan dito, madali siyang i-administer kasi it allows us for statistical analysis at meron ding comparability. Halimbawa, we would like to measure the performance of an individual based on one behavior. Halimbawa is the yung punctuality, di ba? So 5 is the highest, 1 is the lowest. We do have 2 employees. If I put number 4 on the first employee and number 3 on the second employee, madali siyang i-compare because there's a statistical analysis, di ba? Or we can conduct statistical analysis kasi madali siyang i-tabulate. Ang limitations lang nito is because pwede tayong magkaroon ng biases. Okay? Biases in the sense na pwedeng magkaroon ng leniency, magiging masyado tayong maluwag, or yung common in the Philippines, we do have central tendency. Dahil ayaw natin ibagsak, lalagay lang natin sa mid yan, no? Sa mid. Gagawing 3-3-3-3-3. O sige, okay na yan. So, if raters are not trained properly, pwede tayong magkaroon ng ganoong biases. And also yung halo effect. Pagbabasihan natin na, dahil hindi naman natin sila nakikita masyado, narinig natin na hindi na ganito yung performance niya, agad bibigyan natin siya ng mababa or mataas without really going in-depth doon sa records ng tao. Diba? So, dito sa Pilipinas, marami ang gumagamit ng gantong rating scale or gantong performance management. Katulad ng mga retail companies. Ang mga schools, ganyan din. I do believe meron tayong performance evaluations, diba, sa mga faculty members. siguro naman nakaka-receive kayo nun. And then, meron ditong rating scales, no? Let's say 5-point rating scale siya. Binibase yung punctuality, quality of work, yung teamwork, yung communication. Mga example lang ito. Tapos, nakalagay halimbawa 5 excellent, 4 very good, yung 3 meets expectations, number 2 needs improvement, 1 unsatisfactorily, diba? So, ang gagawin mo lang dito, lalagay mo lang or bibilugan, lalagyan ng numbers kung ano ang rate mo or grade mo para doon sa individual. Now, para ma-increase natin yung reliability nito, nilalagyan natin siya ng tinatawag namin na BARS, no? BARS or Behaviorally Anchored Rating Scales. So dito kasi, each rating is tied sa isang observable behavior. Ibig sabihin, nakikita natin na monitor natin. No, it's not just about parang sige, kung sinabi natin na punctuality, ay nakikita ko naman siya pumapasok, so punctual na agad. Pero ang pagbabasehan natin dito when it comes to BARS is ang punctuality, ano ba ang criteria? Kailangan dumarating ba on time or earlier on time? Hindi nakakalampas dun sa grace period, walang mga absences or lates. So, di ba, na-observe natin ito every now and then. So, ito yung BARS, okay? Any question or questions, class? If we're all good, may I request some thumbs up emoji kung gising pa, nakikinig pa kayo? Okay, so gising pa naman. All right, thank you very much. Let's move to the next example or next performance management tool, which is yung MBO or Management by Objectives. Dito sa MBO, yung managers and employees collaborate goals, no? Ibig sabihin, nag-uusap sila and on the following SMART framework. SMART framework means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So again, SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So dito, performance is getting assessed based on the achievement of these 5 agreed objectives under this framework. So let me give you an example. No? In banks, yung mga CSR nila, they are given this, they are given their SMART targets or goals, no? A good example of this for a SMART goal is, as a customer service representative, you need to resolve 90% of customer tickets within 24 hours by Q2. So if you're going to take a look of it, very specific na customer tickets ang gusto nating i-measure through 90% rating. So, nakita niya, di ba? Achievable ito because this has been tested and relevant to the work that they're doing as customer service representative. And you can see time-bound then because 24 hours by the second quarter. So, ibig sabihin, dapat by second quarter, ito yung total na score mo. You can see, ganito siya ginagawa or ito yung mga target goals under the MBO. Another example is halimbawa, as a customer service representative, you need to maintain a customer satisfaction rating of 4.5 over 5 by the year end. So, ibig sabihin, dapat sa isang buong taon, lahat ng customer satisfaction survey, bibilangin yon or itatabulate at dapat mo ma-meet is 4.5 na score over sa 5, which is the perfect score. Ganito ang MBO, no? So may very specific siya na targets. Now, dito kailangan ng structured kasi may goal sets tayo eh. May mga goal tayo na na-set. So dapat structured yung ating goal setting. Kaya before we facilitate it, nagkakaroon muna ng workshops. Tinuturuan sila paano ito i-measure, paano yung ating data gathering, paano yung analysis, and so on. Second is kailangan nakakaskade yung objectives pamula sa pinaka-manager or sa pinaka-top management hanggang sa employee down. Okay? Kasama yung mga individual contributors natin. Yung individual contributors, ito yung mga employees na wala silang, let's say, they're tagged as managers pero wala silang mga subordinates. Or sila yung mga individuals na may sariling department, sila lang din yung tao. Okay, individual contributors yan siya. So, dito, may regular monitoring checkpoints. Pag-uusapan ito agreed by the employees and the superiors or managers. Kung ito ay monthly, quarterly, every 15 days, ito ba ay every 6 months or every year. So, ganito ang setup ng MBO. Okay? Or management by objective. So, any questions? Are we good? So, kung okay, heart rate, okay. So, thumbs down si Emerine. So, thank you very much for confirming. Now, let's go with the last one, which is this 360 feedback or 360-degree feedback. I would suggest ito yung pinakamaganda at pinakamagandang i-implement nyo if you're going to be a human resource or manager na in the future. Bakit? Kasi this method gathers performance data from multiple sources. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang ito si manager. E paano kung may bias si manager, di ba? So, dito, you will get the feedback or the data coming from your manager, supervisor, kung sino yung leader, kasama yung iyong mga katrabaho, the peers, yung mga subordinates, and even yung customers, kung ikaw ay merong external customers. Ang kagandahan dito, if you can see kasi lahat hinihingaan ng feedback about yourself, pwede nating i-validate kung sinabi nung isa na mabait ka, sasabihin din nung iba, dapat mabait ka, di ba? Kung hindi sinabi nung dalawa, it means that there's a possibility iba yung kanilang nakikita at mas majority nakakakita ng hindi maganda or maganda about you. Diba? It's a holistic view of your performance. Napakaganda ito, especially if you're going to evaluate leadership competencies. Ibig sabihin, yung mga mas matataas na position, kailangan talaga yan siya involved with everyone. May it be the higher ups, their workmates, their subordinates, and even their external customers or internal customers. Now, meron dito sa Philippines, maraming mga multinational companies which are situated both in Makati and BGC na gumagamit ng 360 feedback for managerial promotions. Kasi, let's say for example, yung team leader's performance, i-rate ni manager na hindi maganda, we can still balance it and see how do team members and yung kanyang mga iba pang katrabaho na sabihin natin yung mga cross-functional, meron siyang collaboration, communication, no? See them and assess them through their performance kung paano sila nakikipag-collaborate, paano sila nakikipag-usap, paano sila tumutulong or sumusupport, diba? And it's not just going to be coming from one person alone. It will be coming from different persons and across the organization. Ang kailangan lang natin dito is we need to consider that we can have anonymity pagdating sa feedback para, kasi ito common sa Philippines na employee lang ako, tas may manager na nagsabi na hindi maganda doon sa isang employee, tapos meron ka mga katrabaho na gusto or nakikita talaga yung potential mo kasi you're able to collaborate with them, lead with them, pero hindi sila makapagbigay ng feedback kasi ay baka ipadala ni HR. Padala ni HR doon sa pinaka-manager na ito'y galing kay employee B, employee C. Si employee D lang yung umagree sa'yo. So, dito, para makakuha tayo ng honest feedback without risking and also not making the natin ng feedback na matakot is we can make it anonymous. Another thing is, mas maganda ito if we're going to create a development program. Hindi lang ito para i-evaluate yung kanilang or appraisal lang para evaluate yung kanilang performance. Maganda may development na, okay, so let's say for example, sinabi ni manager na punctual siya, subject matter expert siya, pero madali siyang ma-disorient or hindi siya perfect or hindi mataas yung score niya with communication. So sa development program, nakalagay doon na dahil ito yung kanyang points, we will let him or her undergo a performance development or training program para mas ma-enhance yun at ma-meet yung standards para sa position na meron siya at sa kung saan siya papunta. Diba? Kung kailangan, halimbawa, you're a supervisor right now, manager na yung sunod. So, paano natin siya i-develop to be a manager based on the performance na nakuha natin coming across the organization? No? Usually, ito implemented na to digital na. Kasi ang kagandahan is may confidentiality. Kasi pagka ito ay naka-paper pa, pwede makita mo, ay, sulat ito ni employee B. O, pagalitan yan. Diba? Pagalitan yan kasi hindi sumunod sa akin. So, dito, through digital platform, pwedeng naka-QR code, pwedeng merong link, pwedeng through system, pwede ka na magsagot. You just need to tick the box na, okay, you put it anonymous, wag ilagay yung details, di ba? So, mas madali yung reporting process natin kasi nako-collect natin siya real time kasi whoever answers the links, the questions within that day, pwede mo siyang i-access, di ba? Right away. Unlike doon sa naka-pen and paper ka pa, bibilangin mo pa yun, segregate, alin yung supervisor, alin yung manager, di ba? Dito, directly na through the use of the system. Okay? So far, are we good? Okay. So, thank you very much. So, gising pa naman ang aking mga estudyante. Now, we do have balanced scorecard. Yung balanced scorecard, this is one of the latest, no? One of the latest methodology. It's a very powerful example of performance management na kung saan yung mga BPOs, ito yung commonly na ginagamit ngayon. Kasi sila yung napakadami ng employees right now eh. So, marami gumagamit ng balanced scorecard kasi it's a strategic management tool. Si Kaplan at saka si Norton ang initiate. So they adopted some of the operational setting na kung saan bibigyan natin sila ng scores, no? Based on 3 integrations. Number 1 is yung quality metrics, no? Yung sa kanilang work. No, kung kanilang work, i-measure natin siya based on the quality of the output. Yung mga error rates, yung satisfaction ng mga customers, diba? Yung attendance, diba? Attendance, pwedeng doon sa mga unplanned leaves, yung pagiging late nila. Sa productivity, kung ito'y nasa BPO, which is commonly used nga itong balance scorecard, is yung number ng tawag, number of calls per hour, gaano katagal nila nare-resolve yung mga problema ng customers or concerns ng customers. This is how balance scorecards works. Now, I'm going to give you an example. Ganito yung example of a balance scorecard for a BPO customer service people. Okay? So, if you're going to see yung weighted average nito, okay, yung weighted score, yung may 40%, 30%, 30%, it gives you a quantitative performance rating. Okay? Dito, nakabase yung sa magiging final output or scores nila, dito nagba-base si managers or si company about their coaching plan, kung ano yung kulang sa halimbawa, mababa yung attendance. So, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to coach you on how you're going to develop it or improve it. Kung halimbawa naman, when it comes to quality, this can also be something that will feed into your bonuses or incentives. So, importante dito na yung mga metrics na gagamitin natin should be valid. No? It will actually measure your performance at dapat reliable ito, consistent ito sa bawat isa at sa bawat oras na mag-evaluate ka. Ibig sabihin, hindi pwede kung 40% ngayong buwan, next month, ay 30% na kasi kunti lang yung customers. Hindi. So, it should be consistent. Dapat ito talaga siya and fix all throughout. Not unless babaguhin mo yung lahat and then there will be a consultation and announcement across the organization. Bago ito ginagawa, nagkakaroon muna tayo ng calibration sessions. Ibig sabihin, yung team leaders, yung managers, yung supervisors, we discuss ito doon sa employee. Si employee mag-agree or sasabihin niya na hindi po ito achievable para magkaroon kayo ng fair at saka ng ma-eliminate natin yung biases. Kasi we will be able to reduce yung inflation ng rating because na ma-mention ng employees na hindi ito achievable, hindi po ito kaya, ito lang po yung pwede nating targets. Diba? Mas madali siya in the sense that because automatic, naka-percentage na, alam mo yung target, 95%. Tapos kung ano yung actual mo na performance rating, i-convert lang natin siya into scores from 1 to 5. And then, yun na yung magiging performance rating mo. And we will base it na halimbawa, lahat na makaka-achieve ng 4.5 pataas for the total scorecard ninyo will have their incentives. Yung hindi makaka-achieve, coaching plan na. Okay? So far, so good. Class? Okay, so, syempre, lagi tayo may activity, no? Pero yung activity natin, gagawin na natin siya sa face-to-face natin. So, 2 activity yung ating gagawin next week. Now, we're going to apply what we have learned. So, ito i-share ko din naman sa doon sa ating iClass para makita nyo yung presentation. So, magde-design tayo ng performance appraisal form. Ang gagamitin natin is yung ating naging yung possessions na ating ginamit para sa job analysis. Yun din ang gagamitin natin for the training needs. Okay? So, dito, pag-uusapan natin about KPI, yung Key Performance Indicators. So, gagamitin natin yung KSAOs na ating na come up. Gagawa tayo ng rating scale. Gagawa tayo ng section for the comments, feedback, or whatsoever. Basta gagawa tayo ng actual na form para alam nyo kung paano siya gawin. Now, gagawa tayo ng alignment coming from the results that we've got from the job analysis and then also the training needs analysis para meron kayong pinagbabasihan at naiintindihan nyo paano siya ginagawa ng connected bawat segments. Okay? So after we make it next week, magkakaroon tayo presentation, diba? Magkakaroon tayong presentation and then we're also going to have a fruitful discussion about it din naman. Okay? So far, so good. Any question or questions? We're good. So, yeah. So, natouch na natin yung foundations ng performance management. May technical tayo na discuss ko sa inyo methodologies sa Philippine method sa Philippine applications na we're also covered it up. So before we let up, I'll be opening the floors for questions, reflections, or let's say gusto niyo mag-share ng own experience or meron kayong questions about my experience as well. So pwede yan siya para makapag-usapan natin kung merong hindi clear sa inyo right now. Okay? Any questions or comments, class? Okay, so teka lang, i-capture ko lang yung attendance natin, ha? Hold on for a minute. So 18 lang ang nakapasok. Okay. Kathy. Okay. All right. Yes, Emerin, may question ka? Oo, gagawin nating by group. Di ba may groupings na tayo before, no? Oo, so yun na yung gagamitin natin para aligned siya. Kasi if you can recall, sabi ko nga, i-keep natin or mag-take kayo ng photo noong pinaka-first na activity natin kasi para mas madali siyang maintindihan. Kasi kung babaguhin ko pa yung position or yung job description na gagamitin natin, di ba parang mas makakagulo pa siya. So mas madaling maintindihan kung coming from the first activity, second activity, connected siya, third activity, ganun din, no? So, dalawa yung gagawin natin next week, yung ating training needs at saka yung ating performance management. Okay? Thank you, Emerin. Yes, oo. Sa other, pa rin siya. Sa other section pa rin siya. Pero related to HR pa rin. Okay? So, next week natin siya i-facilitate. Gagawa tayo ng questionnaires. So, i-base pa rin natin siya, Mishka, no? If you can still recall yung ating activity, no? Last, yung very first one, so may KSAOs tayo doon. I-align natin siya with the KSAOs that you students of HR management needs to have. Then, yun ang gagamitin nating measure or gagamitin nating basis for the questionnaire for the TNA. No? For the training needs analysis. Alright? Sino pa yung isa may question kanina? Emerin, okay ka na? Okay, thank you. Who else? Parang may sige, si Andre. Okay, validation. Sige, go lang. Okay, welcome. Who else? Okay na tayo? So, mabilis na tapos yung ating klase. No? Mas mahaba pagka tayo ay nasa classroom kasi we do have activities. So, gagawin natin ito next week. And then, yeah, we will be able to meet na by next week. Most probably. So, hold on for a minute. So, class, hingi lang ako ng for permission from you guys na tayo magkaroon ng photo ops, no? Kasi kailangan ko for I need to capture this one para ilagay sa aking DTR. Alright? So kung may I request you guys to turn on your cameras, okay lang. Super fast lang ito, super quick. I'll just be capturing the screenshot na tayo nagklase. Okay lang kahit na hindi pa hindi pa nakapaligo or madilim. Okay lang basta importante nakikita yung inyong names in here. Ayan. Okay. Expand lang natin siya. Adjust view, tiled effect. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take the screenshot in 3, 2, 1. Ayan. Thank you very much, class. Sige, pwede na ulit pwede na ulit ninyong i-turn off yung camera. At so before we end up, wala na po bang question or questions? Going once, going twice. So I think we're all good. So kung okay na tayo, class, you can come back or go back to your rest na muna. And we're going to see each other next week to have our activities. And also yung palang grades ninyo, no? I'll be returning back your papers by next week. Dun sa the results of the exams, okay? Thank you very much, class, and I do hope you have a great rest of the day. If you do have any questions, message lang doon sa ating GC, okay? Thank you, keep safe, and goodbye.